Hello there. So I'm Fran Sands, founder of My Boxing Coach. This video, a number of weeks back, I posted a prediction video for the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. You may have heard about it. Some 4 weeks has passed, and I did say that I'd do a follow-up, and I've had a number of requests to do so. But what really prompted me was last night I was out at a boxing show. I had 9 young boxers out last night, and I was doing a lot of corner work and whatnot. And I was, at the end of the night, I went and stood in the crowd and had a drink, and I was amazed by how much talk was still going on about the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. We're 4 weeks on now, and it really has divided opinion. I found it a really interesting fight. It was a great learning experience for me. It's had really mixed reviews, and people seem to have split the world into 2 camps: the casual boxing fans and, I don't know, the serious boxing fans. People who, I guess, are in the game and know about. And what really amazed me at the end of the fight was the boos that took place. A number of things surprised me before the fight as well. But I don't think that it's split as that the casual fight fans didn't get how great Mayweather was. Only smart, experienced boxing people did. I don't think it's as neat a separation as that, to be honest with you, because I've spoke to a number of really seasoned boxing people, guys who run professional gyms, guys who I have a lot of respect for, have spent a lot of time at over the years, and who know this game. And even some of those guys saying, "Oh, he's Mayweather's boring. He run. He's spoiled. He was dull." One of the guys actually used an amazingly sort of high impact term, and he said basically that Mayweather sucks the joy out of boxing. I thought that was quite powerful. I personally found Mayweather's performance tactically brilliant. I thought it was smart and it was precise. I just wanted to put together sort of the review of what went on that night. It's been 4 weeks now, so I'm sorry if you've had it up to here. I'm sure maybe this next few minutes will at least give you something else to maybe think about. So I'm going to do 3 things. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the fight, how I scored it, what really stood out in terms of tactics, and how it went compared to how I thought it would go. I'm also going to give you some of my general reflections. Was it a good fight? Was it a dull fight? Has the boxing world been fair on Floyd subsequently? And indeed, have they been fair on Pacquiao? And of course, the injury. All the talk about the injury. What kind of impact did that have? And finally, what next for Floyd? What would I like to see him do next? Okay, so in terms of the fight, for me on the night I scored it 118, 111 to Mayweather. I gave Pacquiao 3 rounds. I haven't watched it again subsequently. I then scored it 117, 111. I previously scored 1 round even, but actually I leant towards Pacquiao when I look back at that round. In general, Mayweather dominated. His ring generalship right from the outset. So he comes out round number 1, first 30 seconds, he blazes into Pacquiao with a number of 1-2s, straight 1-2s, bang, bang, sets his stall out. I'm going to dominate the middle, the ground. I said in my preview that Mayweather's actually, you don't have the record Mayweather has by running. Okay, you hold your ground and you provide threat. That's exactly what he did. He kept it very simple, no unnecessary risks. He beat Pacquiao to the jab over and over again. Pacquiao landed, I think, about 18 jabs according to the punch stats throughout the fight out of 193 thrown. Mayweather landed 67 out of 267 thrown. So 3 times as many jabs. So where I thought he would dominate on the left-hand side, he absolutely did. He used a jab and a pivot hook. So as you throw the hook, pivot away, opens up another angle and takes you into the safe zone of the southpaw, as I described in the preview video. Singles and doubles. Mayweather won in what I would call, he just won. A fight is a series of moments, and the moments in this fight were at long to mid-range. Okay, not much went on up close, but he fired off singles and doubles. 1, 1, 2, dead simple. He threw one 3-punch combination throughout the whole fight. So what does this tell us? It was in the 7th round. This tells me that Mayweather is risk averse, because when you're throwing combinations, you're standing in the same spot for momentarily longer than you should be. There's an old adage about the First World War in the trenches. They call it third light. In the UK here, it's bad luck to take third light on a cigarette, because in the trenches, the first guy would take a cigarette, light it, the light would still be there for the second guy. By the time it found the third guy, the snipers in the opposing trenches would see it, bang, and the third guy would get shot. And they say, don't take third light, you're standing still too long. And I think the same principle is in play when you throw a combination. If you throw a 1-2, that's a really safe combination. If you stand there and throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're motionless, you're standing in the same spot, and therefore you're at risk of taking shots. Not on Mayweather's agenda. He just didn't want to do that. He won the fight in 1s and 1-2s. And his lead hand block, there was one in the 11th round, I think it was. He blocked with the lead hand and threw a backhand uppercut. Uppercut's a high risk shot. It's the most high risk shot you can throw. That was a beautiful sort of little combination, standout. So he did brilliantly. Now, okay, so Floyd did some great stuff. What about Pacquiao? His footwork was one-dimensional. Everything he could have done, he didn't do. He did not make his southpaw stance count. He just stood right in front of Mayweather. Very limited upper body movement. No intensity, no double attacks. What we used to see him. No adjustment. So he's getting outworked at long to mid-range. What do? You step up. You get up close. You rush the opponent. You fight. You push it into the close quarters. He had some successes. The 4th round, I think he genuinely hurt Mayweather. I think the backhand he caught Mayweather with hurt him. And in the 6th round, he caught Mayweather, but he just didn't press his advantage. So what went wrong? Well, I actually think Mayweather dominated the fight. I think how much of the injury was cause or effect, it's always very difficult to predict. If Pacquiao got in it, I've got no reason to disbelieve that he hurt his shoulder in the weeks running up to the fight. Well, however, I'll be honest, he certainly looked like he was throwing shots freely enough. He wasn't grimacing after he was landing the shots. Maybe the injury had affected training, and psychologically he was worried about whether he could last the 12. And we just don't know, and we never will know. But to be honest with you, I think if Mayweather and Pacquiao 4 or 5 years ago, Mayweather would have won him. If they fight in another 5 years, he would win him. If they fight in another 5 minutes, Mayweather just has the beating of Pacquiao. So I'm not convinced that the actual injury played that great a role in the end result. Was it an exciting fight? I found it a technically very interesting fight. So maybe to the casual fan it wasn't, but maybe we should think about trying to take boxing and give people the understanding that boxing is a very technical business. So does that casual fan know, for instance, that there are 26 basic types of punch that you can throw in a boxing ring? Does that casual fan know that there are 10 simple defences to an incoming jab? Oh, probably not. So we shouldn't just say, the casual fan doesn't get it. The reality is, boxing is a highly technical game, and not every fight can be Ward Gatti or Hagler Hearns, or Ali Frazier. These, a lot of the time these fights are chess matches, particularly in the modern game. Did Floyd run and spoil excessively? This one really did make me laugh. Look, he controlled the ground. It's up to Pacquiao to come and get him. Mayweather's beating him at long range. Is he there to get his head beaten in for the crowd? I'm not sure he is. There was some holding, but all of a sudden after this fight, professional boxing has become this paragon of toe-to-toe brawling. The fact is, holding is part of professional boxing. You find any other pro boxing match, these guys hold. It's as simple as that. So I don't believe there was excessively more holding in this fight than any other fight that I see week in, week out. Mayweather beat the opponent to the punch. In the moment, the series of moments that a fight is, He won them over and over again. He was landing successfully. Why should he then go on and take unnecessary risks? It's his personality, it's his character. He's extremely successful. He doesn't particularly feel the need to play to the crowd. You know, this was the more career-defining fight for him than me. I just felt Mayweather was exceptional. In terms of Pacquiao's injury, we've talked about that. The one thing that really amazed me was on the way up to the ring, some woman, I don't know who it was, jumps out on Pacquiao and Roach, and these two guys stand there and take a selfie with this woman. So let me just get this straight, just put this in context. I was in a small sort of back street hall last night in the centre of Liverpool here in the UK, and if anyone would have jumped out on me and my boxer on the way to the ring in this amateur contest, I would have pushed him out the way and told him to go and sit down. Yeah, Pacquiao and Roach stand there, the richest fight in history, and stand there like a couple of, as much respect as I have for Freddie Roach and Pacquiao, stand there like a couple of grinning idiots. I couldn't get my head around that. When it happened at the time, I found it staggering. There you go, that's life, I suppose. What next for Floyd? A lot of people may not like this, but I've written an article a year ago. I would love to see Floyd Mayweather fight Amir Khan, fellow countryman. There's a host of reasons. I actually think Khan can beat Floyd. Oh, let me put it this way. I think Floyd would need to knock out Amir Khan, and many people would say, oh, well, he'll do that easy enough. Well, good, let's see it. But I think there are 5 key reasons why Khan beats Mayweather. And now, you know, this had been brewing for a while, but after the Maidana fight this time last year and the Colazzo fight that Khan fought in, and under his tutelage under Virgil Hunter, I genuinely think Khan would give him all the trouble he needs. A lot of talk recently about Mayweather fighting Golovkin. I don't see that fight coming off because I think Golovkin is just too big, too powerful. I think Floyd will not quickly rush into that fight. I'll stop there. I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. Feel free to drop any comments below. If you want me to do the Khan Mayweather video, then you know, click like and drop a couple of comments, and I'll get something done on that for you. Okay, my name's Fran Sands, and I hope you've enjoyed the video.